Okay, greetings and welcome to my Sunday, 14th of August 2022 live stream. I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who's taken to the live chat to say hello. That is Susan Byrne, Maria Ellender, Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, KGNR. Thanks all of you for chipping in, and if anyone's tuning in and wants to say hello, it really is appreciated. Good news out there. We will be looking at a particular story tonight, one that's dominated the mainstream. Any of you caught my very brief live stream last Sunday, which I did in the morning? I said I was taking a week off and going away for a week, so I didn't do a proper live stream last week. So it's my first one back. I guess you could say given the chance for the dust to settle on this story. Just checking my audio sounds right. And unfortunately, Maria in the live chat's been able to share some pictures from the vigil. I will have a quick look at the live chat. Before I do that, I will get on with, what would you call it, housekeeping, maybe? I would like to just make a simple request of you guys. If you're in a position to hit the like button, please do so, as it, I guess, helps my audience grow a little bit. Subscribe if you're not already, and share this video on social media. It's a wonderful way of supporting me, letting me know that you appreciate the info I'm putting out. Another way you could support me is over on Patreon. A QR code is on the screen now if you want to, and thanks to my support over there, Linda Muck. All links are also in the description, of course. Okay, now we've got those subjects out of the way. Hang on. I will take a look at the live chat. Okay. Let's see. Oh, just to let you know, earlier on, I'm not sure if it shows up, Mudlark Digging Up the Thames left a comment. I might have to read it out because I don't think it's showing. She commented very early, I will say that. Oh, it's not even shown on mine anymore. It was along the lines of the football game, Manchester United. Premier League's restarted over the last couple of weeks, and if you watch mainstream media and you're into football, then you have to care that Manchester United took an absolute trouncing yesterday. My personal opinion on it is, I have come to the conclusion, unfortunately, that all high-profile sports are should be considered like you would consider WWF wrestling. I mean, to be honest, I particularly watch rugby, cricket, not really, but the sports I used to follow, football, for example, I come to see these games as nothing more than just another way of dividing us, another way of distracting us. Isn't it interesting that most of the football matches take place during the Sabbath day, something I've come to very much enjoy acknowledging each week now. Big part of my week is shutting down for the day of rest. Following it, it goes from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. Following it, do feel very energized and given a chance to recharge, and it also gives a really good structure to my week. But if you're into the football, then forget that, because your Saturday afternoons will be spent following match of the day, or whatever they call it nowadays. So I 100% think I've made a few videos on sporting games where players appear to do silly things, but then if you think perhaps it was deliberate, you can kind of see that maybe it wasn't such a silly thing. It explains a lot about football once you've got it in your head that it's all kind of deliberate. Then it's like, okay, all makes sense now. I'll no longer get so irate about it. NR is looking forward to the live stream. Thanks. Thanks for that. And you asked how long it would be. Most every live stream I'll give myself about 10 minutes just to warm up, let the audience tune in. So yeah, and that bit is of course cropped off of the final video. KG says hello. Maria, a comment to the video we watched in the pre-show, which was British soap promotes genital mutilation. It is one of my current videos. It's on my list, and I'll maybe put a link in the description after this video if you want to go and see it for yourself if you haven't already. It featured Matty, who is, as far as I know, one of the first characters in a British soap, particularly Emmerdale at least, where they're following someone having a gender reassignment. They've had the top, and then they were talking about wanting the bottom half done. It's a woman that wants to turn into a man, but and to be fair to that episode of EastEnders, they did give a fair bit of warning about just how disgusting, vile, horrible the treatment is, how miserable people are gonna feel after, but they very much sold it as it will all be worth it in the end. Not something I agree with. Far too often the cure is worse than the illness. Of course. Another thing I'll say, I encourage people to say hello in the live chat. If you leave a comment and I overlook it or I miss it, then please leave it again if you think it's something that would be of interest to me or to us, and something we might want to look at on the live stream, because fairly often I'll be watching it maybe back a day or so later and I'll see a comment that I completely missed. So yeah, apologies if I do miss your comment. A little update on that video, because that was back in April 2021. Emmerdale did that story about a lad having a consultation about being put on reassignment waiting list. Well, now they've done a story where he got roid rage, because of course he's on hormones, steroids, whatever, and it's started driving him crazy. He became very aggressive, very angry, arguing with his partner. The usual stuff, of course. So yeah, I do, I'll admit it, I watch EastEnders, I watch Corrie, I even catch Emmerdale, but although, they are well-made pieces of television, of drama, in my opinion. They are engaging stories, they act good actors, but now it's so much more than just enjoying the storyline. I now actually enjoy seeing how they're kind of pulling off some of the set, for example, and how maybe different actors are used more than once. But anyone? Right. Of course, something that usually happens every time I start a live stream is one of the lovely cats that come and visit us turn up. Now I'm doing it an hour earlier than I used to, although I generally started every stream at 10 PM. It's now 9:30 PM, so maybe I'm trying to catch him out. Actually, a bit of an update. One of the last streams I did, I had to cancel a live stream not long ago. Let me find the picture of it. Bear with me a second. One of the many cats that come to us was a beautiful white cat. We call him Mr. White. And we didn't see him for a couple of weeks. And I obviously he's a fairly old cat. He hasn't been, I know he's got to be at least 8 years old, maybe even 10. And yeah, we stopped seeing him for 2 weeks. And I was really, I was worried, but I thought obviously cats do get old. I'll show you a picture of him that I used a second, see if any of you remember him. Where are we? Yeah, I started using cats relaxing as a way to illustrate that I'm not doing a live stream. Okay, this is what I put up. This is Mr. White. Don't worry, I won't be talking about cats too long. This is just Just a quick one off. I'll just check that you can see him properly. He, like the last kind of year or so, he's been coming to us quite regularly. He just comes in the garden. He maybe pops in, nibbles a bit of dry food that our cat's left behind. We don't encourage it, but you know, if he's hungry, we don't mind if he wants a nibble. Lovely little thing. Mr. White, didn't see him for 2 weeks, and then yesterday morning, poor little thing. And I will say, actually, before I show this video, you know, if you don't want to, it's a picture of an animal looking in quite a bad way. Okay, so if you're easily upset by that sort of image, I will say it looks a lot worse than it is. By the looks of it, he's had an eye infection or something, but he looked all skin and bone. After 2 weeks, hadn't seen him at all, and then suddenly this little character turns up at our back door, you know, well, at our front door, and yeah, we're doing what we can for him. We made sure, you know, he'd eaten because he was all skin and bone. Firstly, I wondered perhaps he got stuck in someone's garage and he'd finally got out. And James Latimer, greetings. Welcome to the live chat. You have cats. You feed many cats and foxes in your garden every night. Yeah, you sound very similar to me then. We've even got a hedgehog now that expects, because obviously we put like cat treats down for our cat. And the hedgehog started eating it now, and it's become very tame. If I forget to put the food out for it, it comes running over and wanting, you know, like just reminding me it's there. But so yeah, that was it. It was bittersweet, you know, because I was really pleased to see this cat again after probably 2 weeks. But to see the condition he was in, I felt so sorry for him. But we gave him a drink, we gave him something to eat because he looked so thin. Again, I wouldn't normally feed other people's cats, but I also won't see one looking in that condition and not help it. And after 20 minutes or so, it led down on our floor for a bit, was purring, seemed happy, and then ran off back to where it lives. I'm pretty sure I know roughly where he lives. I'm not 100% sure the house, but I am going to go round if I don't see him again soon. So yeah, I've seen a cat. And also another two have started showing up. Two beautiful little things. This one just been rolling around in the mud, very small little kitten. Well, not much more than a kitten. We call him Peach because I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl, to be honest, but it's very small and he's got a kind of orange coloured collar, so we call him Peach. And this is a pregnant one which has started coming over, although once we went away the other week we haven't seen him since, so I'm guessing she must be in with her kittens. Yeah, anyway, that's cat welfare hour over and done with. I will obviously keep you guys updated if anyone's interested in this beautiful white cat. Right, yeah, we call him Mr. White. Anyway, where were we? Let me just... Mudlight says you had foxes coming to your house twice. To be honest, I wouldn't like that. I'm even a bit concerned that the... Why's my computer beeping? Yeah, I'm even concerned the hedgehog might come in. I'm happy with them outside, I just wouldn't want them in there to come in the back door, which I wouldn't be too surprised. To be honest, I rarely see foxes. I don't see many around this area at all. But yeah, I used to see them a lot more, like hedgehogs. I didn't see them again. I didn't used to see much of them. Hang on. Yeah, so after maybe for like 10 years I didn't see a hedgehog. Maybe it was just because I happened to live in a particular area where there weren't many. But yeah, I started seeing them. Now, there's maybe even two that come to our garden. One of them's, yeah. Susan, you are welcome. Welcome for the cat update, and we will certainly keep doing our best to look after him. I mean, I know these cats can look after himself, and I'm sure God keeps a lookout for them all. He must be to that white cat to get him through the last couple of weeks. Whatever situation he's been in, he's still here. Yeah, and I look forward to seeing him again, hopefully looking a lot better. You had to shout at them to get out. Actually, Mudlark, that reminds me, just before we went away, we had this big white dog that kept running into the garden. Yeah, I'm guessing foxes can be aggressive if they're hungry. So, yeah, James Latimer, I'm curious what you fed the foxes, actually. I know they'll go through bins and eat pretty much anything, but anything particular? Yeah, because we had an issue with our gate, actually, and this dog kept running into our garden, but we fixed the gate and hopefully keeping him out. So yeah, it's not just cats and hedgehogs we get come to us. Also, just before I started this live stream, we had a bat flapping around in the garden, like it does a little circuit. Yeah, the wonder of nature. Right, we're gonna carry on. This is the main subject I'm going to look at tonight, the boy in the machine. If there's any other things you think worthy of looking at. Yeah, to answer Mudlark's earlier question, the Premier League football, I'm highly suspect of it. Just like I'm highly suspect of boxing, UFC. You know, at some level, these sports must be legitimate. I mean, if you go and watch your local team, perhaps, in a lot of cases, I'm sure the players are giving it their best, but football matches, particularly well organised football matches, aren't necessarily decided as much in the field as in the kind of tactics that are used. So yeah, I mean, matches could easily be fixed without the players necessarily even having to be involved, but not to the degree that we see played out in the Premier League, for example. Very specific times of goals going in, it for a lot of it for me must have the players taking part in that, but who knows? Right, yeah, as I say, this is my hourly. Every week I take this hour or two just to look at the mainstream media, and it's the only time I do it. Otherwise, hang on. Otherwise, I'm completely ignorant of the news. I mean, I occasionally catch up with things going on at Twitter. But as for, talking about sport, Anthony Joshua, some of these big names, I'm highly suspect of. One of the, where are we? Right, lost my train of thought. Right. Yeah, a great YouTuber is I can't think of his name, Reboot the Matrix, and he did a wonderful video about Tyson Fury and whoever that American fighter was that he fought, showing just how poorly connecting those punches are. So yeah, the mainstream high-profile sports that get reported in the press and gets everyone's attention, I believe a lot of them are probably completely fabricated. Out of interest, I did hear someone say something about a new virus coming out. I mean, I don't know if any of you know anything about that. Oh, gross. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Right, let's just have a quick look at the live chat. Right, Modler says the FA is probably in league with the big betting companies. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You think since they bought in those, is it cash out betting or something, where right up until the last minute you can cash out and take a small percentage of your win. The amount of games that turn like completely in the last couple of seconds, it must catch out so many people that bet on these games. I'm with you on that, Mudlark. Even people that own, say you're the owner of a big betting company and you find out that the Football League are making tons of money off of your betting shop, would you be too worried if you were cut in, you know? How to launder that money away from the betting company's bank account and get it into your own. Yeah, it goes on, trust me. Believe me, it goes on. Let's see. James Latimer, football players do not get 250k a week. It's all bollocks. Do you know what? I don't agree. I believe half of those numbers either. Again, another great way of dodging tax. Tell the tax office. I mean, even if they have to tell the tax office, perhaps the tax office are like, oh, we don't care about football clubs. There's I mean, I suppose they have to return their taxes every year. So, yeah, if you're telling people you're paying a particular football player £250,000 a year, all you have to do is make sure you pay him enough to cover the taxes and enough to make it worth his while, and the rest you just keep for yourself, you know. But, right. I'm just trying to think. We are going to go on to our headline subject in a minute. If no one's got any other suggestions for anything to look at beforehand, I'm just trying to think. It all goes out my head. Mask report. Anyway, forget mask report. It's not too bad in my area. I don't know what it's like in yours, but right. Susan Byrne says, I learnt something today. A shill is a person in an auction room falsely raising the price in the background. Sounds like today. Of course, there's many. If that's the original use of the word shill, then I can. I know also. Maybe I've got it mixed up, but shills can also be in, like, say, a magician on stage, and he's got a shill in the... Is that a shill or is that something else? A stooge, actually, yeah. Not to get stooges and shills mixed up, of course. But yeah, for play. Let's see. Yeah, thanks for the info, Susan. I know shill is basically... Well, no, it's not necessarily controlled opposition, but it's somebody on the inside who appears to be playing a different role. That's my understanding of it. There's something very dishonest about a shill, you know. Right. Are we going to touch on? We are. Yeah. Maria Ender said she sent us some images from a particular vigil that took place. Was that yesterday? I think you said. Oh. Hang on, let me check what I've done. Okay, sharing my screen. Good morning, Michelle from Oz. Good to see you in the live chat. Hope you've been well, actually, because I haven't. I've noticed that I haven't seen you, but of course I have been doing streams a bit earlier lately, and I know it's good to see you anyway. Hope you are well.
Director of fundraising at Austin Health.
Yeah, I hope you're well and hope everything's going well in Australia. We will have a look at the images shared by Maria about this vigil. Oh, okay, that's not the right one. Yeah, thank you for sending these. This is captured by the hand of one of our one of you guys in the chat, someone I trust the opinion of. However, they do have a bit of a different. I haven't looked closely into this story, and this will tonight be my first proper look at it. However, my gut instinct on any news story when it gets real high-profile attention, like covered by every single news outlet, my initial thought is that it's just scripted reality again. And everything they're saying is just part of their script. Like with Baby Azalea, for example. I do know Maria happens to have another thought on it. Fair enough. This thing about sticking bits on trees reminds me of. Do you remember there was a thing about sticking yellow ribbons on the lamppost in London around Grenfell Tower, using the colour purple, of course. Some may say that is a bit of a, I don't know if you'd call purple a hoax code, but that is basically what I'm looking out for tonight. As I say, some may believe, and could be the case, that this is actually a real boy that ended up on a life support machine. Could it be that it's a real boy that died, and they just took the opportunity to turn it into something else? Because based on the interactions I've had with Maria, she certainly is of the opinion that there was a boy on life support, which, as I say, my instinctive reaction is, but without looking too closely, I would say that I would be surprised if that's the case, but we'll see. Micho says the mum looks dodgy. The whole family is supposedly dodgy, and that's one thing that we'll have a look at. Where's those images? We're not done with them yet. Yeah, the mum looks dodgy, but she at least looks like she's there, unlike some of the images we've seen of. Another story I looked at, for example, was what was her name? Deborah James. And I was so suspicious that I thought every image we saw of her must be photoshopped, because so here's a close-up. So I agree, I expect she is at that park. Out of interest, Maria, if you're happy to answer, or if you're around and you're happy to comment, how many people would you say turned up at the vigil, and was there much stopping you going up to this woman, or is this press pictures out of interest? I'll have to read your comment again. Bear with me 1 second while I get that up. Just want to make sure what you originally said. A couple of pictures from the Archie vigil, which you inadvertently attended. Are these pictures you took then, Maria? That's something I'm interested to know. Because if they are, then fair play, If they're not, I'm not necessarily saying she's been photoshopped into these images. As I said, I did mention that I want this to be a compassionate look at this story. Of course, whatever the situation, the idea of kids being on life support machines are, going to be a touchy subject for most people with a conscience. So I'm not going to automatically go out and say anyone that was upset or moved by this story is, needs a reality check, because it is a horrible story, however you look at it. I do want to make a comparison to this story. If I forget to make my comparison at the end, please remind me, because maybe I'll get onto that shortly. We're going to have a look at the actual story and check for any hoax codes. Maria says, watch the YouTube video, which is the court proceedings, Dance and Battersby, appellants versus Bart's Health Trust. Archie committed suicide on the 7th of April. So if that's the case, then surely Archie hasn't been on a life support machine if he actually managed to finish himself after... if he managed to commit suicide, unless they were just trying to keep him alive, I would be... Okay, I have found Christian Concern. Maria, I don't know if this is anything like one of the channels. Watch the YouTube video, which is the court proceeding, Dance and Battersby, appellants versus Bart's Health Trust. I'm guessing we could have a look for that if you're able to share a link, but oh, Maria, you took them, fair play, okay. She was being interviewed for News at 10. Interesting, because I would generally think that most of those interviews were done in front of green screens, but good to know that, you can vouch that she was there and being spoken to. Maria showed some info. This channel seems completely set up specifically to talk about, well, particularly in the last 3 months, to talk about this boy. Maria sent a really interesting blog post, which I've got. The only trouble is some of the images are a bit, maybe not something I want on my live stream, just because they're inappropriate. And I'm going to put a link to this if you guys, it's a blogspot.com website. If Maria's alright with that, I'll share a link to this post so people can see it themselves, because there's a few things that I'm not particularly comfortable with putting on. Right, link to blog post. Right, what's going on with this? Oh. Right, Maria says Southend Hospital got a heartbeat and put him on life support. Okay, so he attempted suicide then, but they managed to revive him and keep him on. One of the interesting things about this blog post is, see, these are the sorts of pictures that I don't particularly want to share on my live stream. I just don't want them. I don't know if you guys can hear that screeching. It's either ghosts flying around outside or very noisy vehicles. Right, can I zoom in on this? So, nope. Right, hang on. Let's see what I can do. Okay. This blog post, Mysterious Archie Battersby Family, Mysterious Noose, Holly Dance, Lisa Pittaway, Ella. This is some, at the end of this blog post is some links to some of these social media accounts that this family has. Here's one of the lads. I mean, how sick is that? Boys are like pencil sharpeners, because if you use them too much, they're going to get broken. That actually is disgusting. That's vomit inducing. And coupled with the next picture down, yeah, this is a subject I'm kind of almost too disgusted to look at. Lisa Pittaway, now known as Holly Dance, is the mother of Archie. She changed her name in 2014. Reportedly, she has a history of causing scenes and being violent. Yeah, Michelle says this woman looks particularly dodgy. Let's see if we can get the image up of her. This taken by Maria. Yeah, you can't judge a book by its cover, of course, but yeah, dodgy is probably a pretty good assessment. By the way, hello to Random Games. Good to see you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us. Fortunately, Maria, you know this story really well. This is perhaps one of those... Oh, out of interest, is this anyone? Is this one of the family members? Or is this a different... Or is this just another passerby? And how long did... Out of interest, if you don't mind answering these questions, how long did the mother hang around at this vigil? Or once the reporters went, did she go as well? Quite often I guess I'm guilty of thinking that if it's not something I would do, like if I personally wouldn't be able to go and talk to reporters when a child of mine was in this situation, if I think I couldn't do it, then no one else could. But I guess that doesn't automatically mean that other people wouldn't do this. Her Facebook, before it was sanitised, shows that she was a stripper that worked at multiple gentlemen's club. Okay, I wouldn't knock any person that has to do that for a living. It also seems that she had random people on Facebook calling her for phone sex. Cats and Club Tantalise speak about being premier lap dancing clubs. Good to know. Pole dancing lessons from beginners to advanced in the Essex area. Fully fitness qualified instructors. Archie got his... Now, this is a picture that I do find worthy of inspection, actually, which we're going to do in a minute. I know some... quite often when you take pictures with phone cameras, particularly iPhones, and you use the flash, it can do very strange things to the eyes, but just look at the eyes on this girl. They don't look right, is all I can say. Maybe it's just a result of the flash, who knows. Oh my goodness, what have I done? And how do I... Yeah, also, I don't know if we can see the lad. Hang on. Archie's ears seem to stick out quite dramatically there. And also, I don't know. Perhaps that is a legitimate picture of the lad. It just looks a bit dodgy, that picture, to me. But of course I'm always going to say that. The mother always has the same look on her face in every picture, I've noticed. Some people do. Holly with Archie and her older children, Tom and Lauren. Some of the tales Holly has given for this event, including up to 11 now. The original story was that she was in the house and didn't see Archie for 10 minutes or so, so then came and found him hanging by a dressing cord. Ugh. She then states that she cut him down and he fell 8 feet. Well, that was considerate of her. And she ran out screaming and a neighbour came and did CPR until the paramedics arrived. In this original story, he was without oxygen for 40 minutes. Later her story would change. He was only without oxygen for about 3 minutes and she did everything herself. So the neighbour was forgotten about. Another story involves her walking out of her room about 5 minutes after he played a joke on her to find him laying on the floor at the top of the stairs, where she undid the cord and started CPR there. Just say the version I heard was that he was playing some stunt. Oh, get that horrible picture off. Right. I've left the room after a couple of minutes. Well, not a couple of minutes, like a few minutes. I had a phone call and just potted around, really. A couple of phone calls, two phone calls had taken place. We got to hear this for itself. But anyway, we will be watching some of the videos of the mother in a little bit. She kind of goes off on a ramble. A couple of phone calls. Two phone calls had taken place. A couple of text messages, and then... Oh, sorry. So, when I'd made the first phone call, he'd come into my room on the last phone call, and then I'd put the phone down. That's when we had the conversation about the rabbit. Mental. Another version has the bunny story gone, and that she was out of the house and came home and Archie was laying on the floor with the cord around his neck. Interesting they mentioned the bunny, because at the bottom of this is a Instagram account that is about the bunny. Oh. Where are we? I've jumped ahead. Another version has the bunny story. Her newest version of the story is the most perplexing yet. Now it states that he was playing with the rabbit, tripped, and somehow the dressing cord around his neck attached itself to the banister and hanged him. Gross. So it wasn't some online challenge he was doing, because that was the version I heard. We are going to have a look at some of these links. Unfortunately, I can't look at any Facebook links because it forces me to sign in. I do want to have a closer look at this particular comment. It came up on Facebook. I'm not sure whose Facebook, but I'll try and get that open in a minute. While that's loading, I'll have a look at the live chat. Typical of the supporter that attended, Maria. Oh, I see, Maria. Gotcha. Michelle says the story did get traction, but we have moved to gangland shooting yesterday. Okay. Yeah, what's the situation over there out of interest, Maria? Are guns, legal or not? Or are they... I guess there's similar laws to what we've got over here. You can have them, but... Anyway, you're talking about gangs, so who cares about legal and not legal? Maria says family are well known in Southend. She and relatives are known to the courts. Okay. No neighbours have come forward. She was also on a sex chat line which she advertised on Facebook. Interesting, right? So she's clearly what you might call... Anyway, let's look at some of these comments. I hope you can read this all right. Just so you all know, this is someone on Facebook. I don't know whose it was left on. Just so you all know, apparently there was drugs found at the property when the police arrived, and she has a drug dealer on her Facebook. The plot really does thicken. Petition for Archie to have his dignity and let go. That comment, along with another one. She's been dating a drug dealer too. Wow, that poor child. I think a petition needs to be done to let this poor boy go. Disgusting mother. Please, if anyone knows how, please set one up. And Clara Smith says, petitions and protests sadly never work. But this is shocking. Really surprises me. And then Norman Lee says, so is she facing prosecution for possession? Who knows, eh? Good question. This comment for some reason seems to be suggesting that since her mother was involved with drugs, then surely the humane thing to do would be to let him die. So is that a deliberate narrative? Do they want people to start thinking just because... Oh, hang on, there's some more links in the bottom of this, actually. Okay, yeah. Personally, I'm going to recommend anyone who wants to see this blog post for themselves. I'm going to put a link in the live chat. There will be... sorry, I put it in the live chat. I'll also put it in the description to this video. So if you're watching it after I've streamed, then you will be able to go to this. People seem to be sharing links to Daily Mail posts. Someone's actually said there's something amiss about this case. Hoax anyone? Could it be... Right, we still haven't looked at this story yet. This was from news.com Australia. Final goodbye. Archie Battersby life support will end on Saturday. By the way, I've got an interesting take at the end, okay, on this one. So we'll see. Right, the 12-year-old found with a head wound after a social media dare. What? Will have his life support pulled today after his family lost an appeal. Is that kind of a bit of a disrespectful way to talk about his life support pulled, like a plug just being yanked out? That's all his life is worth. Archie Battersby family has been told that his support will end Saturday after they lost their latest appeal. The 12-year-old was found with a ligature over his head after a social media dare at home in southeast England on April the 7th. According to the blog post, we saw that was never suggested to be the reason for... Oh, goodness me. Right, that was never suggested to be the reason for why the boy was found. The youngster suffered brain damage in the freak accident and has been unresponsive ever since. Earlier on Friday, Holly Dance and Paul Battersby lost their last-ditch legal bid to have their boy 12 taken out of the Royal London Hospital and transferred to a hospice. My one thing about this picture, right, I wish we could get rid of that top bit. Hang on. Let me see. Right, this image, I'm not sure if I'll be able to open this on GIMP, which is a bit like Photoshop. I'm going to try. Hopefully it won't cause my computer to crash. We'll have to wait and see. If we can, then we're going to try messing with some of the colours just to see whether there's any obvious giveaways that this image is photoshopped. Yeah, please be patient if the stream starts grinding to a halt. Because I am trying to... I'm not sure how intensive this software is. Right, I'm going to really look close up. Now, poor quality images will always cause pixelation. Does it cause the following though? If I go on to... where are we? Actually, that's not what I want to do. If we bring the lightness down, hang on, forget that one. There seems to be, maybe it's not that unusual, but there seems to be a glowing white strip around his head. Hang on, where was it? And you can see that, I mean, it might just look like pixels to you anyway, but you can almost start seeing how choppy the picture gets. I don't know. I don't know if that if that shows you much or not. But yeah, there's a little bit here. I don't know how obvious it is, but when you mess with the colours, you can see a real distinction just down here. Personally, I wouldn't put anything past these people about photoshopping images. I mean, who would genuinely go into a hospital and take such an image as this? I guess people do it. Maybe. Okay. It looks to me like the kid's got false eyelashes on. How weird is that? Honestly, how odd is that? Why would... Oh, hang on. Oh. Sorry, just had to let a cat go in and out. Who in their right mind would put... Perhaps he's just got long eyelashes, I don't know. But it kind of looks like the kid's wearing false eyelashes. And when you see some of the images on the blog post, it's... Yeah, it doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't seem right. And also his hair is being very neatly brushed every single day, which, okay, perhaps a good hospital will do that. By the way, the rabbit, is that any form of symbology there? Is there anything symbolic about this white rabbit just here in the screen? I don't want to jump to conclusions that this is a completely fabricated story, particularly as one of our viewers and someone I, trust the opinion of, is of the opinion that there was a boy on life support. I'm just curious whether, yeah. I mean, we are allowed different opinions, but personally, I'm not familiar enough with this story to confidently say that, oh, I think it's a hoax, because I can't definitely, or at least I can't say it's not scripted. KG says, follow the white rabbit. Yeah, that was a fairy tale, wasn't it? About Alice in Wonderland. Oh, Maria's... Okay, hang on. I don't want to get too behind in the live chat. If I have, please forgive me. Football games are to take people's energy and money. NR, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They do drain people. Yeah, it does take people's money and also people's time. I know someone who, once England went out of the European Cup or World Cup, his whole week was ruined. He was a miserable person for like a week, maybe longer. I mean, he was a miserable person anyway, this guy. But yeah, he was in such a grouch for a week after England lost in the football. And it's like, come on, people, get real. So yeah, football is the last thing anyone should take seriously. Maria said he'd been excluded from school for 2 years. See, that makes me well, maybe he was home taught, okay. So no one could say, oh yeah, I went to school with the lad, I know he was real. Not saying he isn't real, okay? But Maria said, in the court transcript, Archie died on the 7th of April, and the only reason he was on life support machine was she kept going to the Court of Appeal. And she filmed him, the life support being taken off, and posted it on Facebook. Who does such a thing? I mean, come on. How disrespectful is that? It's in line with, I can't even remember her name now, but some celebrity uploading pictures of their miscarriage to Instagram. What's wrong with people? Do people really... Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm beyond words, honestly. And that's the sort of thing that you get with every high-profile story. Maria, I respect your opinion, but for me, when I read things like that, it's just, how can I take this seriously? Maybe it's legit, and I'm wrong, okay? I'm open to that possibility, but... yeah. the family do look very okay, quite quite a broad-looking woman. I will just say that, but right in her. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so she's absolutely hammered this the legal route to keep her child going. Is there a is there a is there a point in coming at if this was the son of a wealthy couple of doctors, would they be keeping him going? Is that just another divide and conquer method? How many other children are on life support and in that position where they have their life support machines turned off? Yeah, that is where we get to a really weird coincidence in a minute. Okay, I'll see if any of you know where I'm going, what this weird coincidence is going to be. I'd be interested to see. It's soap related, okay? Maria says TikTok have denied any such challenge. Okay. Do you know what? I once remember hearing about a young girl that died after trying to drink boiling water. And it was again part of a Facebook challenge, or I don't think TikTok was around back then, but let's see. To be honest, I'd rather read the live chat than read the article by Australian News. New South Wales maps use it. Maria says she took the pet rabbit into a sterile intensive care unit and filmed it. Yeah, happens all the time, Maria, I'm sure. Rabbits and bad things done to kids, symbolism. Thank you, KG. I wasn't familiar with that one. Mudlark, Chrissy Teigen, you're absolutely right. That is the person that shared their miscarriage on Instagram. Crazy or what? But of course, they were outdone by Ashley Kane and Safia Voronin, who posted every stage of their child's death. Like 6-month-old baby's death. Every picture went on Instagram. Not a single photo shot was missed. They captured everyone. Every click was taken. Maria said, "I believe it's legit. She is being used to push an agenda about the loss of parental rights." Okay. So in that case, someone must be advising her. Yeah, I could accept that in a real life case where a young boy dies, commits suicide. Imagine the parents were at fault, and they say to the parents, the only way you're going to get out of being prosecuted for what happened to that. I'm not going to. This is all hypothetical. I don't know any of this. It's all speculation, and I'm not making any accusations against any parent in the world. But imagine if you were responsible, how much would you go along with the government or with the law enforcement if they said, look, the only way you can avoid prosecution is if you do what we tell you for the next 6 months or 3 months, and here we are. Right, okay, let's go back to the judgment of Mrs. Justice Thies said Archie should remain at the hospital when treatment is withdrawn. She echoed the concerns of the Health Trust, who found the boy's condition too unstable for him to be transferred. Doctors fear an ambulance journey would most likely hasten the premature deterioration the family wished to avoid. That's exactly the sort of thing they would say in that situation. Well, you're the one that You parents are the one that wish to avoid his condition deteriorating. So for your reasons, we're going to, rule against you. The family have launched an appeal against the judge's decision. Mrs. Justice Thies had granted a delay on the withdrawal of Archie's treatment until 2 p.m. Friday to allow time for the appeal to be lodged. Holly blasted the High Court's judgment, but only published Friday morning as sick and outrageous in an interview with Sky News. Who would be in a position to do an interview with Sky News in any of this? Well, who knows? We are going to see the mother talking in a minute, actually. Holly earlier called refusing to move Archie inhumane and said it's completely barbaric and absolutely disgusting that we're not even allowed to choose where Archie takes the last moments. And it was revealed that Holly may give her son mouth to mouth if doctors withdraw oxygen when his machines are switched off. Okay. The mum has vowed to... I'm guessing she didn't do any of this, did she? Not if she was too busy filming it for Facebook, then she certainly didn't do any of this. If doctors switch off the 12-year-old's machine and is prepared to do anything to keep him alive. A spokesman for the campaign organisation, the Christian Legal Centre, who are supporting the family, told the son giving her mouth-to-mouth may be what Holly has to resort to. Alfie's dad, Tom, gave the boy mouth-to-mouth to keep the down tot alive in his devastating final moments. It comes after the court... Okay, went all the way to the European Court of Human Rights, even though we're not any longer part of Europe. But yeah, we are going to start looking... In relation to, they related to the request of the transfer of Archie Battersby into hospice care for his withdrawal of treatment. This picture, very deliberate, just show you how rough this family is. Make sure we get all his, I guess this is his dad, is it? Or his brother, sorry. Make sure we see all his brother's tattoos and make sure we see his signet ring. In case anyone is under any illusions that this guy is a thug. Yeah, I haven't heard the mum talking too much. So I would kind of be interested. Although this, which is the Christian community people, is maybe going to be very pro... okay, let's see. We'll watch this video. Hopefully it won't get us a strike or anything. Right, before we do play that, actually, let me just catch up on the live chat. Oh, hang on. Maria says, I believe it's legit. She's been, yep, okay. Misha from Oz says there'll be a lot more kids in that position soon. I really hope you're wrong, Michelle, but who knows. Maria says she's abused the legal system and made it difficult for genuine parents who are fighting for their children. Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it, of course. If it is an agenda, then... Okay, right, let's watch this video a minute. I'm not sure how long it goes on for. I just want to zoom out a little bit. 2 minutes. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. Oh, hang on. Actually, you're not going to be able to hear it. Bear with me 1 second while I change my sound settings. Okay, hopefully, let me just check how audio looks on here. Where are we? Right, I'm just going to play this for a second and just make sure the audio is coming through.
He was a very energetic 12-year-old boy. But 8 weeks ago, his life changed forever when he was put treatment after being found unconscious.
Yeah, it sounds like the audio's coming through. Again, I'm guessing all these pictures were taken even for the purposes of the press to share to fill the to fill mainstream media's programming schedule. All these pictures were used. Who would do that with their child in that position? Beggars belief.
For his family, it's been a very difficult few months.
Because obviously he's so energetic all the time, he's just laying there. To be honest, he looks really energetic, it's very peaceful, he's just laying there. You know, obviously our little positives are that he's got my hand, holding my hand yesterday when I got back. I gave him a kiss and said, "It's called to fight for you, stay Arch," and put my hand in a different hand. I don't normally sit that side of the bed. And he gripped my hand straight away.
Do you think he knows you're there?
Yeah, I do. My gut strongly tells me that he's there. And this is a little way of like saying, you know, like, just give me time, Mum, and prove to everybody that I am here. Just give me time, please give me time. And that's what I'm doing, I'm fighting for that time.
The judge heard yesterday from some of the medical team that have been treating Archie. And in response to those incidents you've just described, where he squeezes your hand and his eyes are half open, they have got medical reasoning behind them. Do you accept that?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
But for the family, it's these little signs of hope that are behind them not wanting to stop treatment. And in your view, they are hopeful signs. I mean,
Is it just me that obviously this kid's circulation is probably rubbish? But is anyone else seeing a rubber hand there? Maybe I'm just too pessimistic to do this, but is anyone else seeing rubber? Hang on. Watch this kid's rubbery hands. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
No, I don't.
but for the family, it's these little signs of hope that are behind them not wanting to stop treatment. And in your view, they are hopeful signs.
Yeah, most definitely.
I can't be the only one that sees that, right? Actually, Misha says this is a distraction from the situation with farmers, and Susan says, "Well done for digging this out." Yeah, Maria, you shared some fantastic information on this story.
It's not going backwards, is it? If he was laying there and he wasn't doing anything, obviously I'll still fight.
Okay, so yeah, let's say I agree. This woman lost a child. Okay, I cannot see past that hand. How deliberate is this? Look, he can still hold my fingers.
But for the family,
No, he must have, you know, I don't know, anyone who's an expert on drips or, you know, IV lines, does that look right? Is that how IV lines are attached? Or is that something different? Is that his pulse? I don't know.
it's these little
Maybe it's legit, I don't know. But look at her skin colour. That's real skin colour. And then look at his. I suppose he has been in a hospital bed for goodness knows how long. And to be fair, the fingertips look good. They look real, but
that are behind them not wanting to stop treatment. And
it's this bit where it just doesn't look
they are
real.
hopeful.
There's no colour, there's no different sort of, there's no wrinkles on the knuckle. I mean, even children have like lines on their fingers. But that one, nothing.
It's not going backwards, is it? If he was laying there and he wasn't doing anything.
Although perhaps that's what happens when your blood circulation drastically drops. Who knows?
Obviously I'll still fight for time, but I'll be in hindsight. There's not really any positive signs at all, you know, start.
Yeah, Maria, you make a good point. It's a corpse and he is not alive. His skin is waxy. Okay, for a play. Maria says medical reports said his brain was decomposed. Ugh. And coming into his spine. The nursing staff were traumatised by keeping a corpse on a ventilator. Wow, yeah, that is absolutely horrific. But was she? So if they know they've got that happening, is that happening? Is she maybe being encouraged to
Looking
keep
at different
playing
factors,
this
but they're all
role?
positive signs. They're not negative signs, they're positive, and we're going to hold on to those positive. It might appear I'm coping well because I have to. Inside, I'm broken. But I will deal with
She's
that.
finally shown a bit of emotion.
But at the minute, obviously, I'm not allowed to let my guard down for a minute because I've got the most important fight of my life at the minute, and that is to fight for Archie's life.
Bart's Health NHS Trust, who've been looking after.
Anyone else see two upside down pentagrams? Just curious, if anyone else sees that.
Archie say their thoughts are with his family and they await the court's decision. And that decision now lies with the judge to decide on what's best for his future. Catherine Nash, 5 News.
Yeah, I will say, Maria, had it not been for you, I would probably be dismissing this story a lot, as being a lot more fabricated. But yeah, it's of interest. Yeah, Maria, this is a proper nasty one. Right, let's see. I would be curious to read some of the stories. Right, the comparison I will make. Anyone else know the comparison I'm going to make? Does anyone remember? Well, you guys know I watched Coronation Street. I've made a big enough deal about it. This character, now, coincidences happen all the time, of course. Anyone remember Leanne Battersby? Am I spelling that right? Maybe not. Yeah, Leanne Battersby. Just happened to be the same surname. Leanne Battersby, you'll see where I'm going in a minute, okay? I believe she used to be a pole dancer. She was certainly an escort, and she was in the sex industry at one point in her time. We'll have a look on Wikipedia. This is obviously a fictional character from the soap opera Coronation Street. Interesting surname though, hey, Battersby. Let's see. Prostitution. February 2007, it was reported that Leanne would become Coronation Street's first ever prostitute following Danson's on-screen return. The Daily Mirror reported that Leanne would reveal that she had become a prostitute to make money while holidaying in Spain. It's one of our raciest storylines, and I'm sure when she was first in it, she was like a dancer at some nightclub. So okay, there's parallels. This Battersby, what's her real name? Or what is she going by the name of? Oh, she's not called Battersby, right, but Archie Battersby. So we've got the surname there. That's obviously the father's name, so fair enough. But another Battersby, who happened to be a prostitute, and in the sex industry. And then fast forward pregnancy. Here we go. She got pregnant during a one-night stand. Where is it? This hasn't got the actual... No, this needs updating because this is quite an old story, but... Right. Interestingly, they did a story with this character, Leanne Battersby, where her child is put on life support machine, Oliver. and she went through loads of appeals to have the Coronation Street viewers sob as Leanne Battersby is told to switch off son Oliver's life support. Does anyone else find this sounding a little bit familiar? The youngster is suffering from brain damage from the unrelated seizures caused by his mitral. Okay, it's not, obviously, it was only a young baby, so it wasn't suicide, but he'll never be able to breathe unaided. She went through one court appeal after another, and in the end had to watch as her child's the story went that she was the one that went against medical opinion, so obviously she was wrong in the end. I just thought that was a very weird coincidence. And however, telling Leanne lied to... it's... who knows? Okay. That was just something I thought definitely needed bringing up and looking at. Right. By the way, I have been going for nearly 2 hours, so I am going to be starting to wind down in a minute. I would be interested to get your guys' opinion. Maria says, one final note. The music played at Vigil, Gimme a Man After Midnight, Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me? Yeah, how inappropriate is that stuff? I'm guessing the press covered it. Let's have a look, actually. We'll come off of that story and go to another one. Right, let's see if we've got anything about the Vigil. Where is this one from? 14th of June. Wow, they must have done quite regular vigils then, by the look of it. As this was another one. Yeah, they keep saying he was only found unconscious at home. Yeah, well, either way, Maria, I do appreciate that you have given us another side to this story that isn't getting reported in the press. Let's see. Friends and family release balloons in memory. Hundreds attend vigil. Okay, Somerset County Gazette. Let's have a look. I'll try and zoom in a minute. Yeah, we got maybe 15-20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. If anyone has any stories they particularly want us to look at before we wind down tonight. So, Maria, if you are still with us, I do understand it's getting late now, so if you... but if you are still tuned in, did you see any of the purple balloons going off? Interesting they go with the colour purple, hey. I haven't come across too many hoax codes. I mean, perhaps I'll look back at another day and I'll see, oh yeah, I missed all of them. They've just uploaded the same picture twice. That was very generous of them. Hundreds of people have paid their respects to 12-year-old Archie Battersby, who had his life support withdrawn. A crowd gathered at the bandstand in Priory Park. Our Maria was there. Thank you, Maria, for covering this, for being our correspondent in Priory Park, in Archie's hometown of Essex. People held purple balloons with "Forever in Our Hearts" written on them, cards with the message "A Mother's Love," and a photo of Archie and his mother Holly dance were hung from a pine tree. Yeah, probably so people could aim darts at her. I don't think she's a particularly popular person. Children playing with bubbles as music played from the speakers. They don't mention the choice of music though. Hey. of course, this story, and I remember Maria saying in one of the comments about this story, it's far from over. It's only just beginning, probably. So there will be more to come. Oh, they've. Uh, Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see where this story goes. I mean, okay, I'm prepared to accept that's a real family, and perhaps they lost a son. Okay, but is anything that has been covered by the mainstream press anything more than a deliberate narrative? I mean, has this woman been used to, yeah, we'll have to make our own minds up on that one. Yeah, as I've already done, I've shared the link to the, I've shared a link to the blog post in the live chat. I'll do it one more time before we go. Oh, well, that's zoomed in. Right. Archie blog post. Yeah, huge thanks for sharing this with us, Maria, and for all the other information. Susan says, I thought the colour purple was satanic. Yes, I believe it's to do with royalty as well. It's a mixture of, is it blood? The colour of blood with something else, blue. Chunky Brewster, good to see you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us. This dance woman reminds me of Kate McCann. Similar attitudes, yeah. Yeah, she reminds me of someone. I know what you're meaning. I'm not sure if with me it's Kate McCann, but I mean, what inappropriate pictures? I mean, some of them are inappropriate. You know, I don't. If I had the opportunity, I would crop out. I would cut out any parts of this video with pictures of that boy. Yeah, but it will also be in the description if you're watching this video after the fact. Yeah, after we've gone live. NR says, do you think Bradley Lowery was real? Bradley Lowery, thank you for suggesting another person, because let me have a look. Is that a recent story, NR? Susan says, good to chat. And over and out till next time. Thanks, Susan. Really good to have you in the live chat, as it is to have all of you. Hopefully you can tune in for the next one I do next week. You're only missing another maybe 10-15 minutes. We will be finishing very soon, okay? So thanks for joining us tonight, Maria. Sorry, Susan and Maria, of course. Random Games says, colour green is also demonic for them. Okay. Good to know. Maria says, Shannon Matthews, the one who faked her daughter's kidnapping, is like this woman. Yeah, you're right. Shannon Matthews, she absolutely isn't. Hang on. Who am I thinking of? One of the families of the kids that died at the Ariana Grande. I'm trying to think who it was. It wasn't Safi. It was the one who planned her mother's funeral. What was that one called? Oh, I don't know. I have made videos on it, but yeah, she does seem a very familiar sort of person. You're right. Chunky Buster said She said that child when describing him. Yeah, well, shows a lot of affection for her son there, obviously. And he had a friendship with footballer Jermaine Defoe. Okay, we'll go back to Bradley Lowery. Let's see. He's got a foundation. Oh, it's one of Sunderland's fans. Right, okay. We'll have a quick look at this. Yeah, just to say on the case with Archie, we will sum up at the end of the live stream, which will be in about 5-10 minutes. We will just touch on these other subjects. Anyone that, yeah, I mean, if we think this is worth looking at closer next week, then we certainly will. But I don't remember this guy, to be honest with you.
Applause for the boy who's captured the hearts of the entire nation. The bravest smile you'll ever see.
He did not capture my attention, my heart, to be honest, because I don't even remember. 2017, that was probably around the time I was sort of not really, I don't know.
There is only one Bradley Lowery.
I was there. This terminally ill kid's been taken to a football match on a cold December night. Yeah, I can really believe that. Look, he's got his, what do they call those nasal plug things. Okay.
Bradley was diagnosed with stage 4 high-risk neuroblastoma at the age of 18 months, and this is a childhood cancer. For 2 years, he went through very grueling, awful chemo, which is obviously hard. I think people were captured by his story because he did smile, he did have a personality, and his smile was his thing, wasn't it? Everybody knew Bradley for his smile. Bradley was born into a family that loves Sunderland.
Okay, that's about 5 minutes, that video, so I'm not going to watch it all, but who knows? I would have to, maybe we'll look at that one next week. NR, thank you for sharing it though, okay? What's your thoughts on it? Because, I don't know, let's see what we can find about it before we finish then. What's your thought on that kid? Actually, maybe I have a vague recollection of it. Weirdly, he doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so that... Oh, and he was a football mascot as well, yeah? Okay. Obviously, sick children exist, okay? And maybe some of them do get mentioned in the press, I don't know, but I'm not sure on this one. Again, if we were to look at it, I would approach it in a very sympathetic manner, of course, because I don't want to play. Right. Jermaine Defoe. Oh, they have got a trivia, family and bio page about him. Let's see. 7th for the 7th, this story. Oh, come on, get real. Okay, perhaps that means my computer's starting to give up. Shouldn't do though, should work. Okay, let me just check we're still streaming okay. Our numbers have been good tonight. Oh, that didn't look good. Hopefully things are still streaming right with you guys. Just check we're still streaming. Yeah. Right, my computer does sort of seem to be shutting down a little bit, but hopefully we'll keep going. Let me just check everything. Huh. Yeah, at this point, it's probably my computer's way of telling me, Bobby, you've had your 2 hours stream. It's now time to start shutting down. Okay, it's come back to us now. But yeah, I am going to take that hint, and I will be finishing up in about 5 minutes, okay? Oh, the Sun page really doesn't want to load, and I'm not going to push it. Oh no, here we go. Brian Lowry's mum shared her heartbreak today as she marked the 5-year anniversary of her son's death. So it took place on the 7th of July then, 7/7. Already we have a hoax code on this one. It's not the be all and end all. I would expect to see a few hoax codes, to be honest, before I would jump to a conclusion. Footy mad Bradley, who was diagnosed at just 18 months, lost his battle on July 7th. The Sunderland mega fan captured the heart of the nation. Because, yeah, there must be hundreds of children that get ill. So why one particular baby? Yeah, nearly 7 million. There's a fundraiser they did on behalf of this sick child. Has been raised in Bradley's name. An emotional tribute today. So what the mum's really doing is she isn't paying tribute. She's just saying to everyone, look, we still want your money, okay? Stop. Don't think just because my kid died 5 years ago that you should stop donating. Keep it coming, mate. That's what I'm getting here. Again, I said I was going to be sympathetic. That didn't sound very sympathetic, but whenever a fundraiser is the most important part of a story, then it gets me a bit suspicious. Who knows? I mean, this is what you'd expect a mother to say. So to be fair to him, this sounds legit. It feels like a lifetime away since my heart is broken and it will never be fixed, but I continue your legacy, and I'll continue to make you proud. Okay, they desperately tried to raise money for treatment in the US, but later delivered the heartbreaking news that the boy's cancer had become terminal. So I wonder what happened to that money. Is it the same as what happened to the GoFundMe page of Ashley Kane, where they themselves started a foundation and no one ever asked anything about it again? Yeah, this is such a huge story, and to be honest, even the story about Archie is so big that, yeah, we've barely scratched the surface, I feel. So I am happy to, I'm certainly going to come back and look at this again if people want us to. If anyone has any info to share on it, it's always good to know, and I would really appreciate it. Chunky Buster says, so Captain Tom, where's the money gone? Yeah, good question. Same with Azalea. Actually, one last thing. I do remember one subject coming up that I wanted to touch upon. Apparently, do you remember that story about the 13 kids? But there's a film come out called 13 Lives. Actually, you saying Captain Tom reminded me of Tom Hanks in one of his films. I think it was Tom Hanks. Yeah, anyway, they've made a film about this, something I believe is a blatant hoax. Do you remember that football team that got trapped in a mine? We're not going to watch the trailer for it. But some of the people who star in it, Colin Farrell, for example, one of the actors from Dumb and Dumber is like the hero of this film, I believe. Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting because often these, what I believe are fabricated events, often get they make a film out of them, like dramatized real life. Well, isn't that just what this is in the first place? Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember that story about the football club. Maybe we could, because I've never covered that one. But of course, it was all played out on a live stream, I believe. Okay, with that, I am going to start drawing this live stream to a close, okay? If anyone has any... Oh, what am I doing? Okay, we'll start playing our outro music. Hopefully it won't drown me out this time. Hopefully you can hear me over the music. Let me just check. Well, when we get there. Okay. Chunky Buster says Tom Hanks is a frequent flyer on Epstein's Lolita Express. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Tom Hanks is definitely one of them. Yeah, he played the role of a captain that got taken hostage or by pirates. I don't know if you ever saw that. Again, another mainstream news story that got turned into a film. Happens all the time. It even happened apparently when Leicester City won the Premier League. Just to go full circle back to what we started with tonight. We're talking about fixed football. Well, apparently they've even made films about Leicester winning in the Premier League. So, what does that tell you, if anything? Okay, I would like to share my thanks. I'm going to say, especially Maria Ellender for the wonderful information she shared. She got hold of me by email on bobbyzines@gmail.com. You can find my email in the About info on my YouTube channel, or you just comment on any of my videos and I should see them. Yeah, big thanks to Maria for contributing info tonight. Big thanks to Chunky Buster, who was just mentioned the Leicester helicopter crash. I've made videos on that. In fact, we could play out by watching one. We'll see how it goes. That'll take a couple of minutes to put together. Let me just say me thankses, which is to Chunky Buster, Mudlight Digging Up the Thames, Maria Ellender, NR, Susan Byrne, Random Games, Michelle from Oz, and KG, Andrew Lidgett. Oh, hi Andrew. First time I've seen you in the live chat, I believe. If I didn't mention you earlier, my apologies. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Who was the other? We had a couple of other names. I know we did. James Latimer. Good to see you also in the live chat. And I think that is everyone. Or, of course, if anyone wants a shout out, then yeah, just say hi. Michelle's put a link to a Wikipedia post about Archie. Thank you. Oh, he does have an one. I see what you're saying. That's more than. Oh, I'm not going to say James. That other kid doesn't have one. Yes, I was going to say I've made a video on the crash, about the helicopter crash. So, actually I've done whole live streams about it. Let's see, how easy would it be to play out watching one of them? Perhaps we'll do that then, and then I'm not just shutting down my live stream immediately. This is normally the sort of thing where once this stream comes to an end, once this video plays out, I'll be ending the stream. So when I mute myself, that'll be it for the night. Yeah, thanks to everyone who has taken the time to tune in tonight, and as always, thanks to my Patreon supporter Linda Mack. A link to my Patreon is in the description to this video. Right, I'm desperately trying to find the video I made about that helicopter crash, as someone specifically mentioned it. This is one of a few different videos I made about this one. Okay, this is inspecting the footage. Yeah, okay, this is a video I did 3 years ago, and we'll watch it just as we play out tonight. Let me just set up the... Yeah, let me just set up... I'll turn this audio down a moment, the music. I'm going to mute myself. Anna, do you think Emiliano Sala was real? Again, I've covered... Hang on. Let me show you my screen, which I have to do if I'm going to play the video that we were talking about. You can see on my list of videos, I've made one on the... Where is it? A reason for the Emiliano Sala hoax, which is a 3-minute video. Fabricated news, Leicester City helicopter crash, 7 minutes. And inspecting the footage. And I even did a live stream. Yeah, I did quite a lot about fake. About fabricated sporting events. Also one about the Smalling, Grealish. Yeah, it's all there on my channel, okay? I would recommend you watch it. Maybe we'll play it with this 3-minute video about Emiliano Sala, seeing as you asked me about that also. Yeah, thank you for suggesting a video for us to watch, okay, as we finish for the night. Let me just bring up a little line of text so anyone tuning in won't think that we are just starting or anything. Nope, not that one. Right. Thanks and good night, I'll put. And then anyone tuning in can see it's... They can see it is the end of the live stream. By the way, NR, I do remember you suggesting I look at a YouTuber called The Illusion. Actually, yeah, I've been in contact with a guy, and it looks like we may be collaborating on a video at some point soon. So yeah, thanks for suggesting it. I do appreciate it. I see Maria is... sorry, Michelle is sharing some info. KG says, who knew Archie was such a popular name? Yeah, you've got that right. It does seem to be everywhere at the moment. And our football is to take people's energy and money. Yeah, agree with you on that. Yeah, thanks for sharing the link, Michelle, particularly to Archie's Wikipedia page. What's the gosh.nhs one? Maybe I could have a real quick look at that. Where are we? Hang on. Where's my live chat? There it is. I'm not sure what this is a link to. We'll have a very quick look at this, and then it'll be playing out with my video from 3 years ago, 2019 in fact. Understanding... Oh. Gosh.nhs. Understanding brainstem death. Okay, yeah, wonderful information, Michelle. Thank you for sharing that, okay? Yeah, I encourage anyone to have a look at that. Brainstem death, okay. Well worth reading, okay? Thanks for sharing. Right, I'm gonna say goodnight now. I'm gonna mute myself. We're gonna play this video from the 31st of January 2019. It only goes on for 2 minutes 90, just under 3 minutes, sorry. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm starting to ramble. I've been talking a long time. So I'm making less and less sense the longer we go on. So I'm going to thank you all for tuning in, and I'm going to say good night. NR, yes, the Illusion got in touch, and we are hopefully in the process of arranging a time when we're going to meet up. So yeah, thank you for that, alright? So thanks for the suggestion. And the rest of you, yeah, if you haven't checked out the Illusion, I'll put a link to his channel in the description under the show notes, which I'll put up. Michelle, thanks. That, as I said, we barely touched the surface on the story of Archie, so it's something that we need. Something that I appreciate other people's inputs on. Right. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Here's a 3-minute video. Night NR. Enjoy your coffee, Michelle. Enjoy your week. I know you're just beginning your Monday now, aren't you? Hope the weather's not getting too cold, because it's been absolutely sweltering at where I am, where we are, in this part of the country, world. It's finally cooled off now, though. I'm going to go and see if the hedgehog's in the garden, and I'll be back next week for another live stream. Okay, enjoy the vid, and good night, guys.